You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic.
You are now tapped in with Hood in the Morning.
Peace. Let me cut on the vibes because we can't do this without the vibrations. How's everybody doing this morning? Grand rising. Peace to the family. Before we talk about any of the stuff that I want to talk about, let's talk about this. Pinned in the comments in the live is a link You got kids, you got daughters, you got sons, you like to read them books, get this book. This is my friend, this is my brother, this is my partner. Although the name is Jasmine, it's talking about one of the coolest, realest dudes out here in these streets. Once again, the link will be pinned in the comments. The link is pinned in the chat. So hopefully everybody is all right. Everybody got good vibrations. Let me know if you can hear me okay. But yeah, the caterpillar room, that's the movement, family. That is the vibration, especially if you got children. Wonderful book. Every page is illustrated, you feel me? Please support this good brother. I'm gonna have him on here to talk more about this book, but I've been slacking in my Mac and I've been slipping in my pimping, and I haven't actually put it out there. Please get this book. In November Mage, I think I DM'd you about how to purchase your book, but please message me, email me, call my wife. Let us know how we could support. You understand? Yes, your granddaughter does need a book. If you got kids, you understand, this is for the community, this is for the people. So before I get into any of the hot shit that I'm gonna talk about, let's support each other. Let's support this good brother. You understand? I'm not going to reveal the story behind this book because that's not actually my place, but such a wonderful story, such a beautiful message. And think about it, man. Purchase, get, buy. No, Jasmine, don't play. I'll send you my address. What are we doing here? What are we even talking about? But no, Jasmine, I want the book so we can talk about it. The link is pinned, okay? But the website is super easy. thecaterpillarroom.com. So just like you see it right here, put it all together and do .com. Our book is in the mail. Oh shit. My wife don't even be telling me things all the time. You understand what I'm saying? But yes, it is Moon Day. Definitely what I like to do to kind of start the week off, if not for y'all, but definitely for myself. She already got my Addy. Look at this. Look at the November Mage. That is some November magic shit right there, man. Cause Lord, oh Lord, here I am popping all the fly shit in the world. It's already taken care of. Gots to be more careful out here in these streets. So yes, this is, and the thing about it, what I was telling Jazz and what I'm gonna tell everybody here, it's not about like the book, right? It's about the next book for me. Like if you put out one book, then let's start working on that next book. Because imagine, my thing is, we all can bear witness in our imaginative minds, the Caterpillar Room series. Like after you read this book, you're gonna be like, all right, what happened next, right? So after you, man, we got so many opportunities to be prosperous. Like, man, like I be writing deep, you know, Chakra Nova books, and Jazz, he unlocked the key. Like, dang, I could have, you know, we could have put out 50 of these by now. You understand what I'm saying? But not to cheapen it, you know, just to create the value, because honestly, it's valuable. You understand? For your children's mind. Like, we adults, we trying to figure it out and this, that, and the third. But man, imagine you buying a book from somebody that you know, that you can talk about, that you can actually see their growth, right? So let's wrap our arms around this good brother and lift him up. You understand what I'm saying? Let's support him, right? Because if we don't support him, if we don't buy this book, it's not going to break you. Feel me? It's not going to break you buying this book. Buy the damn book, right? Buy the book. Wrap your arms around this brother so he can feel confident enough to write another book, right? Because that's what y'all did for me. Y'all bought my first book, so I said, okay, I gotta keep writing, right? Because if I stop, then so does the support. So let's wrap our arms around Jazz. Let's buy this book. Like, if y'all don't take nothing from this from this live, be sure to buy this book, okay? So let's wrap our arms around this good brother. Jazz ain't done nothing but good shit, ain't been nothing but a positive influence in all of our lives. So the least we can do is drop a hardcore 20 on that brother, man. You feel me? We all got 20s to spare. So let's talk about what we about to talk about. Grand Rising, man. Happy for y'all to be here with me. You know I don't like long drawn out messages, even if it seems I do, right? Today we're talking about the sun ingressing into Sidereal Taurus and the energies that will present themselves over these next 30 days, and dealing with the overall manifestation in the next 30 days and also the next 7 months. So the energies historically, the mindset, ancient mindset related to this particular time in the ancients was a preparation for what we were about to get. Now, generally, that's going to be very different from a realization of who we are, right? If we meditate on who we are, right, then we generally get kind of frustrated and beat ourselves up. But if we meditate on who we are about to be, what we are setting a tone for, then we can easily feel better about who we're about to be, and then create the action steps, the mental and emotional intelligence that goes along with who we are about to be. So in a nutshell, what am I talking about? In a nutshell, I'm talking about self-talk, right? We'll be addressing that. We'll be addressing intrinsic versus extrinsic values, right? And then we'll be talking about the transportation of transformation, or the transformation of transportation, right? Meaning that we're going from one place to another. And generally, if you are not going from one place to another, that means you are stagnant. And stagnant energy is not generally welcome in the Hood Mystic platform, now is it? Because stagnant energy is a danger unto itself, right? If you have a stagnant pool of water, that could be a well-intentioned pool of water seeking to feed the masses. However, if there's no flow to it, if there's no current to it, it tends to get mildewy, nasty, and yucky, and icky, and sticky, and it's nobody's fault. It's just physics, it's just laws of nature, it's just the reality of things. So when we want freshness, we keep it moving, right? We are moving through the currents, we are moving through life, and generally we can sit and cry over our spoiled milk, no pun intended, or we can get into the transportation of transformation, and going from one place to another is natural, right? Finally, we'll talk about, scroll down to my notes. That's why I take notes, because my memory is not the best. I forget my children's names. I say, what your name is, little boy? Little boy, what your name is? They be like, Dad, stop playing. I say, son, I'm not playing. What your name is, boy? I don't know your name. Forget. Okay, which one is you? Memory shot. So I gotta keep notes. But I'm working on it. Okay, trust the unknown, right? We're going to finish it off with trusting the unknown and the vibratory frequencies of Pisces and Neptune coming together, right? A long transit, right? About 7 years of trusting the unknown, stepping into who you are, stepping into what you've learned in this spiritual journey. This is a lifetime this could be multiple lifetimes worth of work, culminating into who you are standing in, who you are, who you tell yourself you are, right? And then the actual, what does that come with? Unknown energy, right? We'll get into it. if that's scaring you, or if that's bringing you into, if trusting the unknown is bringing you scary energy, let's absolve that, right? Let's absolve that. So we're going to start this conversation off with the ox. The sun is ingressing into Sidereal Taurus throughout the week. And let's understand the ox, because when you get into history or you get you a good old astrology book, Astrology Explained, available on ColumbianExchange.com right now, $11.11. That's how much it costs. I mean, for $11, you could get some astrological information you could absorb and understand the reviews, and the proof is in the pudding. But I digress. I'm gonna be the great digressor today. I digress. Where did that come from, though? How did we get to start talking about Taurus means this and Gemini means that, and I'm a Leo, so I smack you in the mouth, and all of this type of weird shit? Where does it come from? Well, it comes from, in my humble opinion, ancient understandings of growth and expansion throughout a collective. Meaning that I got more people here than I personally can take care of, so I need to figure out ways to feed all of these mouths. And where we transition into hunter-gatherer people, because I mean, it's cool to hunt, right? It's cool. But sometimes you don't feel like hunting all the time. And sometimes you don't even really want to eat meat. And sometimes you don't want to forage berries and things of that nature, because you probably would notice over lifetimes and years that foraging would drain the trees and the land of its natural flow. So you would then start to figure out, how in the hell could I create a situation for my people that we ain't got to struggle so hard? So somewhere along the line, the ox or the bull or the cow, in variations, bison, buffalo, depending on where you at, right? This big woolly mammoth looking animal came up on the scene and was like, "What up?" And we was like, "What up?" And we decided, hey, what if we partnered? I got this idea of this farm, but I can't really do all the work with my legs. I get tired. And you, Mr. Ox, Mr. Buffalo, Mr. Bison, Mr. Taurus, Mr. Bull, I think you could help me grow this empire. But you. I got this plow. I'm gonna attach it to your back. Since you just be going up and down the shit anyways, I'm gonna guide you up and down this farm, right? And we about to get this money, because after I grow it and I feed my family, it's gonna be other people around, the other villages. They gonna want some of this corn that we twerking on. You feel me? And thank you, Mr. Ox. Thank you, Mr. Bull. Thank you, Mr. Taurus. I'm going to venerate you, because we done came the fuck up off of your ass, boy. Egyptians, they talk about apis, right? Native Americans, they talk about the great white buffalo, right? Buffalo Bills, right? So if you really think about it, Hebrew, the first letter is Aleph. Aleph is just simply translated to ox. Okay? So if you are in the space of an ox, the beginning, cultivation, what else are you saying? You're saying that the work that I put in today, right now, after cultivation, nurturing, mental, water, right? Got to put some Cancer in there. Got to put some fire in there. A little bit more earth to finish off the deal. Shit, by goddamn September, we'll have corn, hella corn. This is a fact. We can do this season after season after season after season after season, and we'll get money. We'll get money. But we don't get shit, right? Until we plant the seed and cultivate, nurture the land. And that's why the ox and the bull and the Taurus is so important to our understanding. But where people get it confused at, you look at the end result, the harvest, right? Tell me if I'm lying. You look at the nigga with the shmoney, you like, I want shmoney too. He got it easy. You be looking on money spells, how to get money easy and things of that nature. But when you get into Taurus, this is how you get it. See, wouldn't you want to know how to get it as opposed to just having it and thinking that it came easy? So this is my own personal thought process. When I hear people talk about Taurus, y'all got it all fucked up, because how do that work? How do y'all just wake up and just imagine that you just got money? And last time I checked, all the Tauruses that I know broke as shit, don't got nothing, right? House to house, like, they be the worst, right? And will spend all of your money, right? Because this aesthetic, this like, I think Taurus energy is like social media energy, right? But the great digressor must digress once further. What I'm talking about is transformation of transportation, or the transportation of transformation, however you want to word it. But we working with two words. We're working with transportation and we're working with transformation, and we're talking about the cultivation of land. And physical energy is either your actual garden that's going to sustain you in the winter months, or your farm. That shouldn't be real far-fetched to us living in 2020 America, right? We shouldn't be so far away from the garden. We shouldn't be so far away from the farm, even if we doing research, right? Understanding how to buy some land in rural America to start your farm, because at the end of the day, we are getting poisoned. Instead of using the cow to cultivate in the land, we're eating the cow. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. So, to transport from one place to another, you have to stay moving. You have to stay growing. You have to stay moving forward. And the problem is, we're so worried about what we did a few days ago, a few years ago, a few months ago, to which, you ever been driving down the street and looking entirely into your rearview mirror? What's the chances if you're going forward and you're looking back? What's going to happen? You're going to crash. So let the past go, because there's nothing that we can do about it today. Today, we can't do shit about the past. Today, we can cultivate our land. We could work out. We could plant seeds. We could do the things. We could be the person that we're going to be today by doing the thing, by being the physical embodiment of that which we hope to become. So, you know what you need, right? And you know where you're trying to go. But there's an emotional quotient or emotional aspect to this, such as worry. And where does worry come from? Worry comes from the past. But in the space of planting a seed, even though a rabbit might come and snatch your fucking carrots up, even though, goddamn, you might have a rodent infestation in your garden, you do not, I repeat, you do not plant the seed. Because there are threats. There are threats. I'm not saying that there are not threats, but you are actively communing with the universal life force energy. You are acknowledging that you, in combination with the universal life force energy that we can all bear witness to when we plant a damn seed in the earth and a goddamn carrot come up. You ever hold the carrot you ever hold the seed in your hand, right? It ain't gonna grow. It needs to combine. It needs to merge with the physical life. Okay? Now, this is not so abstract, right? We just do one thing that leads to another. Well, we do first things first. Now, I'm using all of this to be abstract and to bring analogies, but I want to then bring it back to the person that might be listening to this and wondering how you could apply this into your life. Right. If you are entirely physical, then sometimes you imagine that your physicality is the end all be all. But the deeper reality is that the inner work is needed to be brought forth. Now, this all may seem really simple when your exterior is popping, when things are going well for you, right? But what else happens is when the exterior is popping, you are under the illusion that nothing can go wrong. But understand that that is an illusion. Anything can go wrong, right? Especially if you don't know how to bring about an exterior positivity. Generally, in the everyday, there is a bunch of skims and a bunch of scams and a bunch of phlegm and a bunch of flams, when the reality is that you need internal work. You need to sit with yourself. You need to really set that intention, plant that seed. Because the exterior and the outward validation is not long term. What goes up must come down. But the reality is that this is not about having it. More so like the seed combined with the earth is the same as the manifestation. That's why Taurus is physical. That's why it is manifestation, but it's not. It is, but it isn't. It's nothing at all. You wouldn't even see it, right? How does that look like in real life? How does Taurus look like in real life? I am a millionaire, right? Y'all talking to a millionaire right now. I've sold thousands of books this year. Thousands, because I've linked up with people. I've read The Tipping Point, y'all. I met a connector, I met a maven, and I met a sales team, and boy, oh boy, they got behind my ass and supported me. And trust me, I'm in the future right now. I'm in November. I'm a fucking millionaire. I'm taking my kids. I am fucking going crazy out here in these streets, because I done made so much money this year. I haven't, but you can see the seed, right? You can see the energy of the work, the book, the content, and now I just have to I have to cultivate, I have to nurture that. Now, if a rodent comes, snatch up my roots, maybe I have a couple hundred. Maybe I don't have anything, but I'm not under the illusion. This is the world. This is Earth. You can walk outside and a damn piano fall on your goddamn head. Stop thinking that you're subject and an exception to rules. You gotta be grateful, right? Because tomorrow not promised. Because tomorrow not promised, does that mean that the farmer don't cultivate his garden? No, because it ain't about you. It's about what you're doing for other people. For me, it's the legacy. For me, if I say, all right, tell my son, like, all right, you can't play on the tablet, you can't play on the video game, and he's like, I'm mad at you. Okay, be mad at me, but at the end of the day, I wrote books, and you're gonna write books too. And we made the hard decision to not just dumb you down and to keep you in trance in la la land, right? For me, I want my children to look at and see that their dad set the example. Whether they follow it or not, whether they like me or not, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm being the man that I feel that I'm supposed to be in reference to my children, and it's not perfect, and it's not a guarantee. When you plant a seed and you deal with the Taurus energy, there is no guarantee to it. But that shouldn't be an indication for you to stop. You looking for guarantees. I mean, it's kind of a guarantee, but it's not really a guarantee. I'm still here. They got the wrong picture in here. Y'all know how I am with this. Can't have the wrong picture in here. So as we can see, the sun is just now moving into Taurus throughout the week. That is the actual sky map for today. So it'd be weird people talking about things in reference to astrology where planets be where they don't be, and I be saying something in reference to where they be and I just look like the crazy one. How can you, like, this world crazy, because you can be right and still be wrong. So I don't even be trying to be right. I just be like, this is what the maps say. Y'all can bear witness to it. Or not. You feel me? Keep on y'all Western stuff, and maybe it makes sense to you. Maybe you vibrate to it. It just don't vibrate with me. Western astrology don't vibrate to me the same way as, like, it's like if you dealing with a liar, right? Not even a liar, somebody that just constantly tell you the wrong information. Even if they a cool person, you would eventually shy away from them because it's like, that's not relevant to me. Or you wouldn't do arithmetic like 5 + 5 if you knew calculus. And not to say sidereal astrology is relative to calculus, but it definitely is advanced. So, and I think that's really important when you talk about astrology, because astrology represents the perfected person. It don't mean the person that's kind of like, first things first, if your sun is in a specific sign, that don't make you that specific sign. That just means your sun is in that sign. It's just an easier way to say that I'm a Taurus, to say that I'm a Libra, to say that I'm a that, but that's not the reality. First thing. Second thing, you got other planets in your chart and other aspects in your chart that really play an important role in your psychic development. That when I'm doing a sidereal reading, it's accurate in reference to your actual placement. And then the understanding is the understanding, right? And it's gonna help you because it's coming from a perfected place. You are a perfect person. But when you study your chart, your Western chart, and you stand on your Western chart, you thus are saying, I'm not perfect. I'm slightly skewed 20 degrees ahead of myself in all aspects. That's a problem, that's an issue, and that's not something that should just be overlooked because you don't understand sidereal astrology. You're fucking your shit up by holding on to Western astrology as a truth. And as many, all of these Western astrologers, get one of them that you agree with to come talk to me on live. We can do Instagram live, YouTube live, and them tell you that Western astrology is superior to sidereal astrology. You'll never hear them say that out their mouths, and they'll say it to you, but they won't say it to me. Never. And get me any Western astrology that we can come on here and debate. Because y'all don't want to debate. Y'all just want to be right. Y'all just want to be in your echo chambers. Y'all just want to lie to people. Stop lying to people, because it's a lie. Okay? Western astrology is not true. It's fake. It's not real. It's a progression where there is no progression. It's not necessary. And it's poisoning the minds and hearts of melanated people all over the country. Because I study astrology. If you study astrology, then you come to the overall conclusion that you need to let Western astrology go. Now, are you strong enough to let it go? Or are you just weak and just want the attention and you just love your echo chamber so much? You just want, just because people agree with you doesn't mean that it's true, right? I figure billions of people drink cow milk, eat hamburgers, and fucking eat eggs. That's not right and exact. That's not right and exact. However, people do it anyway. People agree with it. People will pull up at a Chick-fil-A and smash on chicken all day. Don't make me right. Don't make them wrong. It just is what it is. But at the end of the day, you start doing research on sodium and start studying heart disease and things of that nature in our community, and you put 2 and 2 together. But still, people choose not to put 2 and 2 together because they feel bound. They feel fixed to what they know and to what other people agree to which the journey is not an outward journey. The journey is inward. So if you disagree with me, feel free to disagree with me. But please understand that I'll disagree with you too. I'll disagree with you too. Okay? The sun in Taurus is here to correct your attachments to the physical life, mental life, emotional life, spiritual life. It questions your values, right? And some of us value extrinsic things without even understanding that there are intrinsic values. Right? They don't even know that you can increase your value in the world by not doing physical things, but doing mental and emotional things. You have problems and troubles with relating to people, mommy issues, daddy issues, trauma, psychological, all types of shit you know you deal with. But if you're not valued, if your value isn't in a peace of mind and a level head, and your value is in the physical, well, the physical comes and goes. The physical is the paint job. It's like I only value red cars. All right, then take this Pinto. It's a red Pinto. You said that you wanted a fine dude. Get this fine, abuser. You know how many beautiful abusers it is? Let's digress for a second, because I want to digress and then come back. Y'all know how many beautiful abusers there is out here in these streets? All these sexy ass abusers out here in these streets. Y'all fucked up for real. Y'all really fucked up. If it even crosses your mind that, how they look is important. What is their looks going to do in the astro? What is their looks going to do mentally and emotionally for you? Not a damn thing. It's only going to satisfy your physicality. Your physicality is one aspect to your overall sense of well-being. I'm not saying that you should relinquish physicality at all, but physicality has a purpose. All I'm gonna say is that there are some beautiful, cute, sexy, gorgeous, amazing, photogenic ass abusers out here, period. Ain't nothing else to say about that. Y'all really weird if you looking at a person and think like, oh, he's sexy, I think I'll take him. Weird shit. Caterpillar room. Not weird shit, real shit. Shout out to Jasmine Jones. I ain't even gonna cap, I lost the book and then I found it. I've been tripping, Jazz, bro. You gonna have to forgive your guy, man. I am a flawed individual. However, I'll make up for it. Caterpillar Room is available. The link is pinned in the live chat at the top, and I will pin it in the comments. Just buy this damn book. Like, you got $20 to spend. Buy this book and read it to your kids. You'll spend $20 on Wendy's. 4 for 4 looking ass little boy. little man, what you want? Fruit punch? Wrong slide. Just getting y'all all wet today, splashing on y'all. So the values and the physicality that Taurus brings about, get it for her. Get it for her. Physicality is fixed in Taurus. It's the earth. The earth is fixed. So the best thing is to get comfortable with earth, with dirt, with nature, with the soil, like they say, from the mud, because that's going to be the launching pad. Y'all hear that? Get comfortable with the earth, get comfortable with the soil, get comfortable with the ground, i.e. grounded. Because that's going to be the launching pad of your desires. What's that not sound like? Hating where you're at, cursing the ground that you're working on, not even realizing that the soil in the earth is the launching pad to your desires, right? So human, that was abstract. Well, let's deal with the human. The human, is time for you to deal with your internal values and your dialogues. Stop telling yourself that you a broke boy. Stop telling yourself that you a fuck nigga, because your girl called you a fuck nigga and a broke boy, and now you internalize fuck nigga and broke boy mentalities. I'm a fuck nigga, I'm a broke boy, I ain't gonna never be nothing, so you do fuck nigga shit and broke boy shit. Trust me. Been there, done that, got the ticket, souvenir, and got down... What'd I get? Souvenir, t-shirt, keychain. Yeah, got the keychain. Got the fuck nigga, fuck boy keychain. All of that. Right? Internalizing these things, meaning that these things reflect within your memory. You tell yourself these things. And then, this is why once the sun gets into Gemini, people start getting crazy. It's not anything that they haven't done to themselves. So we have to talk about this because nobody really wants to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it. If a person does not love themselves, they cannot love you. If you do not love yourself, you will then choose a partner by default that does not love themselves. And what happens over a long period of time? Toxicity. What's the most important thing that should happen within a relationship? Self-love, self-validation. Because if I need you to validate me, then when you're mad at me, I'm no longer validated. And generally, if I have to follow a person's emotional energy, I would have never done anything. I have to validate my purpose. And, if you're a spiritual person, it's not to say that you don't care about your family, but your spiritual purpose comes first. And these are the things that you have to tell yourself. Nothing is going to stop me from my goals. So quite naturally, your baby daddy is going to be on some bullshit once you come into your realization of your goals, right? Not even him and his bullshit is going to stop you. Your baby mama say, oh, the child support is late. You need to pick up the kid. You need to da-da-da-da-da. How you respond to that is the key. Because if you respond to it the same way you've been responding to it, that's the indication that you have not been doing the inner work at all. You just been hoping that she don't trip. You just been hoping that he don't trip. But the reality is that they're going to trip more or less. Their emotional frequency might not be in alignment with your spiritual purpose. So what's more important, their emotional frequency or your spiritual purpose? Because now is the time to merge, because once the sun hits Gemini and you've been calling yourself a fuck boy, fuck nigga, I ain't shit, or counterintuitively, you've been saying, I'm the greatest person alive. I'm a great mom. I'm a great dad. I'm a great baby daddy. Ain't seen them kids in months, but you telling yourself, I'm a great daddy. I'm a great daddy. Sounds good. The Sun and Gemini come, them child support papers come, they asking for an increase and all of that. And because you told yourself you was a great dad, that's where the crazy shit happens. That's where the mental imbalance comes. But it's nothing that a person is doing to you or to anybody else but themselves. So when you come into alignment, you initially will then see, oh, I love myself and I love my partner, but my partner does not love him or herself, so they cannot love me. Then you got to figure out what the fuck you're going to do. That's not something that I have an advice for, right? Because this is another way that the rich get rich and the poor get poorer. Because the mentality, if you got a poor mentality is saying that anything emotional that happens from my mama, daddy, brother, sister, grandma, grandpa, anything that happens, I shut down. But the thing about that, the world doesn't shut down because something happened to you. So you may shut down for weeks and years and mentally and emotionally shut down because you quote unquote going through something. That's an emotional frequency. And nobody has to follow you down that path. Generally, people won't. You'll be alone, right? Because part of this astrological energy is setting seeds. And the seed that you set is a realization of not having a harvest in September, October. The worst case scenario is your self-talk. And then you want to blame everybody else. The poor get poorer, right? Now you talking about the rich person who came into an understanding within himself that he wasn't or she wasn't going to let a sad person slow me down. Because listen, the reality of getting held up in your relationships is real as hell. Because it's all, why are relationships so difficult? Because if a person does not love themselves, they are disconnected from themselves, and how can they be disconnected from themselves and be connected to you? Please tell me how that works. How could my computer be off but still connected to the internet? I mean, there's no power to it. There's no power to it. Your power is in your self-validation. Your power is in telling yourself that I'm a millionaire. And as soon as some broke nigga shit happen, you invested in the broke nigga shit. So you're not really a millionaire. You just want to be a millionaire. As soon as your baby daddy start pulling on your coattails and slow you down, you turning around looking at your baby daddy, sitting at your baby daddy with the kids watching TV, living the American dream. But your realities is not centered in that. You don't want that. The rich get rich and the poor get poorer. Your mentality, what you say to yourself, is your realization. And when you start to say that to yourself, you change your life. But if your partner is not saying that to themselves, guess what they're gonna look at you? If your computer is on because all you did was believe in yourself. Simple shit. You just believed in yourself. But if your partner doesn't believe in themselves, how could they match up with you? No, what happens is they're gonna treat you like an ox. They're gonna treat you like a bull. They're gonna treat you like a Taurus. They're gonna want you to plow the whole fucking garden, and then come Libra time, come Virgo time, come harvest, guess who's gonna be front and center at the table with you, with their hands out. But you're so kind and loving, and rich get rich and the poor get poorer. That's all I'm gonna say. The world and our spiritual journey are at odds. That's what all of this is for. When you are single in full power, when able to do and be whoever you wanted to be, and you didn't do it, is because you felt like the world was going to give you something that your spiritual journey couldn't. So when you get back into the spiritual shit, you then move further away from the world. And this creates tension. This tension has to be found in nature, or eased rather. It's not found, it's eased in nature. Also, going within, finding refuge. What does a seed do? Like, a seed has to burrow, hide, go into its cocoon, and then emerge. But within that cocoon, you're not like, oh shit, I ain't gonna be nothing. Oh my God, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not and bashing yourself, right? No, you know for a fact that going within and going out into nature is the energy that is going to propel you, that's going to allow you to grow. So that requires you to begin to speak to yourself in such a way with wisdom and knowledge. And this is why we read the books. This is why we do the study, because not to talk to you. It's interesting that I do get to talk to you, but I don't take it for granted, because ultimately these are the things that I have to say to myself to stay balanced. Because generally, what is a person going to give me? Nothing. I mean, the internet's cool, but I still live in the real life. And when walk up to the bar and get me a goddamn cranberry or something like that, ew, you smell that? I don't know. What, you smell that? I don't know. Right? So I know the vibes. I know I ain't about to really get shit out here. I know my lot. Right? I know my lot. However, I also know how to speak to myself, which is the overriding ability, because I'm toe up from the flow up. However, my self-talk is A1. Okay? So remember, go within, find refuge, speak to yourself gently, speak to yourself lovingly. And just be patient, right? That's the most important part, patience. But before we talk about patience and development and growth, we have to talk about your self-talk. Oh Lord. Bear with me. Y'all bared it. Constantly, consistently, without fail, without recourse, without judgment, without every bone in your body should be centered on positive self-talk as the sun ingresses into Taurus, or the cultivation and maintaining of your garden and farm, which would nobody have to tell you that if you had a garden or farm. However, if you have no garden, you have no farm, and you're saying, well, how does this apply to me? This applies to you because energetically you are a seed, and the reality is the growth of your seed is reference to how you feel about what it is going to be. What will you become? What are you working towards? Are you trying to what does a seed know about the past? Think about that. If you are a seed energetically and you're coming into this Taurian energy field, what do they call this? The Milky Way, Pleiades, Aldebaran, right? All of this high energy, and it was like washing through this seed. What would the past have to do with it at all? Like nothing, right? It's all about what you're going to be. That's kind of the message of the seed, right? But what is the seed in real life? I don't want to be abstract. I want to talk about self-talk. I want to talk about inner speech, because this is the thing that nobody wants to talk about. Y'all want to be the sexiest girl and imagine that, okay, I'm so sexy. I'm so sexy. I'm so pretty. I'm so fine. I can get your cause she mine. Oh, there go those vibes again. They be creeping up on you. You don't even never really know it. Just start all of a sudden, bam, find yourself in a vibe. So man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I'm just like, yo, cause I'm processing a lot of shit and I'm talking and I'm just like, yo, please talk better to yourself. Please speak love and life and power to yourself. And then notice the test in reference to what you say to yourself, because then you're understanding the magnetism between what you say to yourself and the overall outcome. This internal speech is what you hear inside your head, and it's everywhere. It's all the time. It's never a point in purpose where you're dealing with a person and they're not dealing with their internal dialogue. And where you might think, this person really liked me, or this person ain't feeling me, that person is dealing with their internal dialogue and they don't even see you. They don't see you. They don't hear you. They don't value you. They don't notice you. They don't feel you. They don't respect you. They don't love you. They don't like you. You don't even exist. Because internal speech is loud and it's blinding. It's many different extremes. But let's imagine we at 0, and 0 is me and you having a conversation, and you see me, you understand me, and you love me, right? And that's the highest that it can go. 0. We are 0. I see you. I'm present with you. I have no expectations. We are here today. It's like a sale, right? Unless you want to return that item, I don't never see you again. I don't never talk to you again. It's been thousands of sales that I've accumulated over these years, and there's certain people that majority of them I'll never even talk to again. That's 0. So that's Taurus energy, the Taurian field, where you just got your value, your inner value, and you bring it forth. Could be corn. You know your corn is the best on the block. You sell your corn to 100 people. That don't mean that you got 100 energies latched onto you. It's 0. It's energy exchange. Now, you could love somebody from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? You love somebody, and the person that you love, this is an extreme, they're schizophrenic, or they have a psychological issue, or a mental issue, or an emotional issue, and you could be tossing salad, you could be giving sloppy toppy, you could be, riding it on your tippy toes, you know what I'm saying? You could be giving hot oil massages, you could be giving them paychecks, you could do all of the things for this person, right? Y'all been in situations like that. Y'all been with people who have mental issues, whether you know it or not, and you're pouring into them, but they haven't poured into themselves yet, and they're relying on you to pour into them to validate the relationship. But once you're not able to do how you do, or you switch up the routine, or start caring for you, or anything, if you pouring out of your cup and somebody ain't pouring into your cup is empty. And you can sense that, you can feel that, you can know that, right? But that's not a knock on that person towards you. That's just simply that person having inner dialogue that's so loud that they can't even see, feel, or understand the love that they're giving. So the only thing that can happen is if they get help, right? Or that inner talk quiets down. Because it's not only that it's loud, it's blinding. And what we call crazy, call issues, these things, it might be internal speech. And because it's everywhere. It's not a person that doesn't have a monologue that's going on inside of their heads, that you're not going to meet a person that is not an issue until you address it, until you bring the understanding around it. Because why is this another important thing? Internally, you may be on your spiritual journey, trying to manifest your business and trying to be your best person. But you might be in a partnership or with people whose inner dialogue is, I'm not worthy of anything and I'm just this bad person, right? That's two misaligned messages. So best case scenario, unless you're a strong ox, a strong bull that can pull people through, won't nothing happen. So during this energy, during this time, if you in partnerships and realize in close relationships, get into some inner talk, and when they not treating you the right way or whatever the case may be, just understand it's not really personal. People just have a real live tendency to kick their ass, right? People naturally just kick their ass relentlessly. UFC, MMA, body slam, submission hold, you know what I'm saying, choke move, DDT, pile driver, off the top rope, leg drop on their own ass, right? Beat they self the fuck up, Mike Tyson versus Mike Tyson on difficult mode, and then try to, bring they battered and beaten selves into a relationship. Well, emotionally and mentally, if you are scarred, you wouldn't show up to a date, with a busted lip, black eye, ear bitten off, right? You would show up to a date looking good, right? But that's physical. What tends to happen 90% of the time, correct me if I'm wrong, people show up externally looking good, but internally looking like that damn episode of Martin. Oh, Lord. Repeat after me, man. I'm learning to trust the journey, even when I do not understand it. I'm getting there, man. Getting there one step at a time. I'm trusting it because when I was a young boy, I never saw myself in this position. And so, as a older man, I realized that I may have not known shit back then, and I thought I did. I really thought I knew shit. I really thought I had a good handle, and as I'm going through this energy, I just have to really take my own advice and become a seed and begin to water my seed by self-talk. And where that leads me, I don't know, but I'm trusting the journey, and it's very scary. It's very vulnerable because I'm thinking things that I've never really thought before, and I realize that that's healthy. And the conversations that need to happen, they need to happen so, healthy relationships can commence, as opposed to relationships that don't rely on trust, relationships that don't rely on, like, I know this because of what happened earlier, right? My mama did it like this, my grandma did it like this, my granddaddy did it like that, and this is how it's supposed to be. that's becoming a block, you know. So you generally have to move into a space where you can trust your intuition, trust your spiritual energy. And it might not be what your mama and granddaddy say. It might not be what your teachers say. It might not be what the TV say. It might not be what a spiritual person is talking about. The effort Sun Sextile Neptune would be in trusting Neptune and Pisces, emotional depth, but also we have progressed to the point that we could build ships, or we could tread, or we could float and be on top of our emotional depth and use it as needed. However, the relaxation that comes from trusting the unknown is the vibratory frequency that would allow for close relationships. The counterintuitive is to not trust somebody because they present the unknown energy. I don't trust you because I don't know what's going to happen with you. But love don't necessarily work like that. It is a spot where you trust yourself enough to take a risk with this person. And so what this may look like is taking new vows in your partnership, restructuring deals, reorganizing things that you may have thought were fixed. Because what's actually truly fixed? Nothing. And if we can bring our minds into the space that all things change, even physicality, even values, and even relationships, and even partnerships, and even everything changes. But within our relationships, can we set the intention? Can we not rely on one or the other, but realize that this garden or this farm, it needs to be cultivated, it needs to be worked. And maybe one person can work it by themselves, but it's easier to work it when it's two people. And that's the message that Taurus and the Ox brings forward. Another thing that I want to reiterate, your inner voice is your outer voice of transformation, which leads to the transportation towards your destiny. What you say to yourself will then become the preparation for what you say to others, which would then be the ultimate indication of your transformation, because this inner process is validated through your outer expression, and you are putting everybody on notice that these are the conversations that I've been having with myself, and these are the things that I wish to stand on. People will leave, people will come. But you, through speaking your truth, are transported to your destiny without even worrying. But stand in that truth and don't give up on that truth. If you plant the seed in May and forget about it, you ain't gonna have shit. I always like to remind people that 1 + 1 = 3. So you being one, you being whole, must combine with other whole individuals, and when you guys come together, you create a new life and a new energy. Or you can be a whole person combined with a whole person and not do shit and end up with less. So 1 + 1 = 3, or 1 + 1 = 0. So be wise when choosing your partners, and please don't choose off of physicality alone. Chakra Nova is available in stores. Well, not in stores, but ColumbianExchange.com. Also, Caterpillar Room is available. The link will be in the description, in the comments, pinned to the chat. Please buy this brother's book. If you know a little girl, little boy, great Christmas gift. You know, black people ain't nothing but birthdays in the summertime, because all we do during the winter time is make babies. So it's going to be a lot of birthdays. Perfect birthday gift. Thank y'all for tuning in and tapping in with your boy for this edition of Hood in the Morning. This episode was titled One Thing Leads to Another. First things first, what you say to yourself, which leads to what you say to others, which leads to your transformation, which ultimately brings you to a transportation to your destiny. Y'all know where to find me. I'm somewhere in these streets, somewhere, kicking up dust, somewhere being a problem, somewhere disrupting the system, somewhere being a glitch in the matrix. It's your favorite anomaly, the Hood Mystic. I will see you guys in a future date. Peace.